What's going on? Today, I am going to talk about bit crushers. I'm going to tell you why it's important, and I'm also going to share you my favorite tools to use for bit crushing. All right, let's get to it. Okay, we're talking about bit crushers. So the whole purpose of a bit crusher is to emulate the sound produced by the earlier iterations of the samplers that had the hardware limitations. So for your reference, we have a CD right here. And at the time, the CD was the best sound quality that you could get. You had a 16-bit resolution and a sample rate of 44.1. So that was like the baseline for great sound or clear sound. Now, when you get down to like the MPC 60, you have a 12-bit resolution and you have a sample rate of 40 kilohertz. So it's a little bit crunchier sound than a CD. Now you get down to the EMU SB1200, you have again 12-bit resolution and a 26 kilohertz sampling rate. Then you have the Casio SK1, it has 8-bit resolution at 9 and some change, 9.38 kilohertz sampling rate. So now you have a really crunchy sound coming out of this sampler. I actually had this one, it was pretty cool. Okay, so here are 4 bit crushers that I like to use, and I found these to be very useful. And this is Bit 8. This came with Bitwig Studio, it's free. Here we have SC Bit Crusher by Stagecraft. It is also free. And we have Decimort, which is about 55 bucks. Can't remember the name of the company, but I'll have all of these in a description. And you also have Metafilter, which is about 30 bucks. Now I want to demonstrate how these Bit Crusher work with a loop. This is a break beat, so I'm just gonna play it for reference. So now I'm gonna let it run with the Bit 8 plugin. This is how I reduce the sample rate right here. And this is how you change the resolution. So it's pretty simple. I don't really mess with these other parameters. So that is Bit 8. Moving on to SC Bit Crusher. This is where you reduce the resolution here, and this is where you reduce the sample rate here. Also, the cool thing about this is that it has a cool visual when the sample plays. You can change the stereo spread, so you can go from 0 to 100%. You can also change the mix. And also it has like a noise mode, so I'll show you how that works in a second. So you can change, how much noise you want into your sample. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it. So it has some funky automation going on. Look at this. So. Also, it has different presets you can go through. So it's pretty cool for a free plugin. So I definitely would recommend you guys to check it out. All right, moving on to Decimort 2. Here, this is where you mess with your sample rate here, and this is where you mess with your resolution. So I'm gonna let it run. Cool thing about this, it actually has emulations of like the ASR 10 and like the MPC 60. So I'm just gonna let it play with those different presets. Let me know in the comments if this is spot on or not. a lot of cool presets that you can just go through on Decimort. Also, it's a nice looking interface. It looks pretty cool. So that's Decimort 2. And lastly, you have Metafilter. And I'm only messing with these parameters for Bitcrushin right here. The rest of these parameters is for a whole different function for sequencing of filtering patterns. So I'm gonna just let it run. So you can just mess with the drive, give it a, I don't know, like a more distorted feel, and you can reduce the sample rate. So honestly, this is probably the simplest bit crusher right here. You're only messing with like two parameters right here, really, just to get a bit crushing effect. These two I don't really mess with so much. But so that is Metafilter. So I'll just go through some of the presets. It has some cool presets, but it's a little bit of bit crushing and filtering. So I'll let it go. So it's a little creative, more creative than a traditional Bitcrushin plugin. So, all right, so that was my take on Bitcrushin plugins. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite plugin. Also, I left some links in my description so you can actually check out the VSTs yourself. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you find this video to be useful, please like, share, and subscribe. All right, I'll see you in the next video.